Good day, Market Chameleons, and everyone joining for the first time. Thanks for coming by and watching the Market Chameleon webinar series. Before we get started, let's take a look at the shared disclaimer. Please be aware that neither Market Chameleon, Dimitri, or myself are registered investment advisors or a broker-dealer. If you're searching for investment advice, please reach out to a licensed professional. This webinar, as all our webinars and shows, are for informational purposes only concerning Market Chameleon tools and products. With that, one last look at the disclaimer, and let's welcome Dimitri Pargamonic to the stage. He's going to be talking about analyzing large multi-leg options trades and open interest changes. How are you doing today, D?
Good morning, Will. How are you?
Great. Let me share your screen. There we go. And there's the Market Chameleon landing page, and we're off to the races, my friend.
Good morning, everyone. So today what we'll do is take a look at our multi-leg trade screener. See what were the largest multi-leg trades or the trading activity from Friday. And now that Friday rolled around and we know the new open interest, we could get insights on what happened regarding that multi-leg trade. So let's go up to our main menu. We're going to hover over screeners. And then on the right-hand side, we're going to click on multi-leg trade screener. And this will take us to our screener. As you can see here, we have some filters up top. And we also have a table down below with different tabs, over 12,000 items. These are the top 5 and listed by largest volume and an interpretation of the multi-leg trade. So what we see here is a screener that looks at the option trades, reads the information regarding those options trades. If it was a multi-leg, part of a spread, or more than one leg to the option trade, it assembles those option legs and then makes an interpretation. What's the most likely strategy here? So for example, here in SPY, the top line here, we see between 140.34 and 357.57, there are over 400,000 contracts traded, and it occurred 3 separate times. So that's why we have this time span. So this spread traded 3 separate times, and we interpret it as a put butterfly. So it involved the June 18th, 480, 530, 580 puts with two puts in the middle, right? So this is times 2. So butterfly is, it's 3 legs to the spread. It's in a ratio 1 to and 1. And this has 62 trading days to go. So if we wanted to just see the details of it, let's just click open, and we could start drilling deeper into the details. So this is the market price, 31 cents, 36 cents. At the end of the day, the last time it traded was 36 cents. The VWAP price was 35, and the low price was 35 cents, high price 37 cents. And these were the 3 trades. So you can see 400,000 contracts involved for 35 cents. Then we saw at 159.55, a total of 8 contracts traded, and then at 357.57, 100 contracts traded. So it could be somebody noticed this trade, also wanted to participate, but you could see the big bulk of it was at 140.34. So if you click on that 6, you could see all the legs of that trade. Okay. So now that we see this big trade, the question, I guess, becomes, well, was this a new position opening? Was it a closing position? Was it perhaps a roll from certain strikes to other strikes? And that we don't know necessarily the day of the trade, unless maybe, you know, the open interest was 0 in the morning. Then we could infer, well, this is a new opening position, because there were no positions to close. If the open interest is 0, there's nothing to close. And if, you know, all 3 legs had a zero open interest, and then we see a trade, well, then the inference is now we have a new position, an opening position. But if we don't have that situation, then we have to analyze it and see if we could make an inference. Okay, so sometimes the data is lined up in a way you might not be able to. You know, so if there's lots of open interest there and lots of trading going on, and there's a big mix, even when you see an open interest change, you might not be able to say this, you know, what happened here. Okay, so let's click on these legs and see what happened. So here we see these are the 3 legs. This is the open interest change on each leg, and this is the volume on the contracts. So we see here that the open interest increased on each of those legs, all 3 legs, that closely correspond to this trade. So there's still a significant, you know, there was a significant amount of open interest here, but here we see that change in open interest was very large and corresponds to the volume in this particular trade. So the inference here is this is a new opening established position. Okay, so I'm going to close this. Let's close this. So if we roll over here, we do that analysis for opening. Okay, so what happens? We have a trade. We need to interpret what that trade was. We don't know yet if it was open and closing. Maybe here during the day we could have interpreted it, because the volume in this trade was so much larger, even though we had 14,000 contracts on each of these legs, but the volume itself was so much larger that we could have probably inferred that it was an opening position at the time of the trade. But you know, once we see the new open interest, because open interest changes once a day based on settled trades, then we could kind of go back and make that interpretation. So now we see that there is a new position that opened up. It was a June 18th put butterfly. Okay, 480, 530, 580 put butterfly. So let's do one more. In here, we have a trade in Microsoft. So this trade, so it traded one time. Okay, at 10/21/27, a total of 140,000 contracts traded in this spread, which we interpreted as a condor with calls, skip strike. Okay, so there's a condor with calls, but it wasn't perfectly even. It was like a skip strike. So here we also don't know, well, what happened here? Is it an opening position, closing position? And if we come over here, this is telling us that an interpret is as rolling up. So what that entails is it's not a new position or closing of a condor with calls, skip strike, which that's what it appeared at the moment of the trade, given our best information, without knowing how it impacts open interest. This looks like, if we don't know what the open interest is, opening, closing, it looks like a condor with calls, skip strike. But here, once we get the new open interest, it said, well, this is actually a roll. Okay, a roll is moving from one position to a new position. Okay, and this one's rolling up in strikes. So rolling up is moving from lower strikes to higher strikes. So let's see what that looks like. And click on Microsoft. This will open us the details. Okay, and again, let's open up those legs. So here are the 4 legs. And we see a big drop in open interest on the 405, 445 calls. So these are all in the same expiration, May 1st. But what we're seeing is the 405, 445 calls saw a large decrease in open interest, not as large as the 35,000, but keep in mind there are probably other trades going on there offsetting. But at the same time, we saw large open interest increase in the higher strikes that correspond to the volume of these trades. So the inference here is that this involved a trade that was exiting the lower strikes in Microsoft, could have been like a call spread, and at the same time establishing a new position at the higher strikes. So kind of like getting out of a call spread and then taking that and rolling into a different call spread at higher strikes. Okay, so at this point, we could say that wasn't actually a condor with call, skip, strike, new position, even though it was executed like a condor with calls with skip, strike. Okay, so if we just took those 4 legs and said how was it executed, well, it was executed like a condor with calls, just like you could roll from one strike to the other. But if you do it as a call spread, it would be executed as a call spread, right? So even though it was executed that looked like a condor with calls, in actuality, it was a roll from one position that looks like a spread in lower strikes to a new position of a spread in higher strikes. So I'm going to close that, Will, and I'm going to just end it with, so why do we look at these positions and these spreads is to understand, how people are using the options, what type of positioning and are we seeing, especially like with these larger trades, what's leading to these open positions, how it's impacting option prices, maybe anticipate if you start seeing those types of patterns of order flow. Will, I'm going to throw it back to you because I hear background from your.
Yeah, that was great, D. Thanks for bringing that webinar to the Chameleon community. You have a great trading day, my friend, and we'll see you tomorrow, hopefully.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Stay safe. Have a great trading day. Hope to see you tomorrow.
All right, everyone, have a great day. Bye. Hey, everyone, thanks for joining. I'm sorry, Giovanni, I just saw you had a question. I will copy that question and try to bring that to Dimitri tomorrow. Everyone, please join us at 4 today. We'll be on with Ryan from Options Robot. I did get everyone's questions that were in the chat, and the link is in the chat, so you can join if you're able at 4 p.m. today. Rob, keep us posted on that app you're working on. That sounds pretty cool. Everyone have a great, safe trading day, and remember, follow us on all the social platforms, and we will see you tomorrow.